Yellow Jackets.
I've never heard that until Todd said that about.
Was that on that one episode? They always say it.
I've never watched it, and I'm not going to start watching it because I'm.
Are we live?
Yep, live.
Yeah, I ain't going to record. I want to go live. I don't.
You are live.
No.
All right, here we go. I'm with Chris Mitchell, Team ADR, founding charter member. We're smack dab in the middle of some place called Dillard, Georgia.
Which is right down the road from Sky Valley.
Sky Valley. That's what we're headed tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Sky to Summit.
Sky to Summit 50K.
All right, that's got two other guys with us, Todd Farrell, Scott Lawson. First time they get into this 50K distance.
And
What have they got ahead of them?
there's so much excitement they won't be able to contain themselves.
They got new shoes, new running vests. They're laying over laughing at us right now, but
No, it's a thing that they're in the moment they're going to think they're hating it, but they'll quickly come to realize
At this point, I thought the
just how much they'll love it.
yeah, but this is 2021. We've been at this since probably 2018. That's what I want to talk about, how we got here, how we ended up running these distances. And I know for me, I started February of 2018 after I run into DJ Allen. He told me about Strava.
Strava.
Said Chris Mitchell's on there. You need to get on there and sign up. So I did and got hooked up with you, and then
And from there, that's when
we started having fun.
we started having conversations about Barkley marathons and the Barkley Fall Classic.
Both of us were hooked on that movie. I know I drove a bunch of people crazy watching it, talking about it all the time, and especially Scott Lawson and my family.
Yeah, but how could you not really get intrigued with it when it's literally in your backyard,
Oh,
the
no
course?
kidding. Right there at home.
Yeah. That was I think that enamored me more than the race itself. Was why the heck, man, is this little place, this little park in our backyard a worldwide destination for the ultra running community? That was what intrigued me.
Right. And I remember Scott Lawson telling me about, he saw it on, I think, Channel 10 News. He said, I saw a little clip
Snippet.
a little snippet of a race up at Frozen Head. You ever heard of it? And I never had. And that's when I started looking and found that movie. And I mean, I was runt. I was done.
That was what started our conversations on.
Yeah, when I found out how much you liked it. And then I started running at RFT and Rockwood Forest Trails.
But what got me is we go way back
Oh,
to
yeah. So it's like 85 or 86.
high school days.
We were training then and didn't know it.
And the crazy thing is that as much crap as we got into back then, and then there was totally nothing for years and years.
20-year gap.
Yeah, while you're just doing life and you're
Raising kids.
yeah, and that takes up so much of your life, and then all of a sudden, bang.
2018.
Yeah, just like that, and you're.
Got the boy band back together.
And it was a lot of fun. I remember our first trips going up there training and whatnot, and it was just such a big deal. If it was nothing other than go up the Jeep Road to the tower, and you're like, whoa, we're right here in the middle of the Barkley course, and it was.
No, yeah, you thought you were really killing it.
Yeah, man, but it was cool. It was awesome.
But we also would go to Black Oak. I remember the first time you took me up there, and that blew my mind that was in Roane County.
Yeah.
I mean, no, people still don't know about it. I think we went on 4th of July one morning early.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to start our Firecracker Classic right there. Yeah, training classic.
We went one time. On 4th of
But it was
July.
epic, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It seems like we were there at daybreak.
That was the most confusing trails I'd ever been on. I thought I'd never get out of here if he fell over dead. I mean, that was
It was good stuff, though.
yeah, that's some good trails. people listening don't know about that and behind K25, they need to check it out.
Yeah, it is. That's perfect. I've always said that's perfect training ground for trail running
Yeah.
because of the undulations, how up and down it
Oh,
is.
yeah,
And-
you're using fancy words now.
well, I mean, I picked that off of off of the old Tour de France.
Yeah,
La
you,
Tour de France.
yeah, you are in Trail Runner magazine. Now. I forgot about that. From Barkley.
I think I was a casualty of war. I think there were other highly coveted members of that photo, and
Yeah.
I just so happened to be riding along.
You got the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
We'll
And-
talk about the Barkley in a little while, but go back to like the early, when we first started this in 2018, going to Black Oak, then going to Frozen Head. And a lot of times at RFT, I don't know how many laps we've done down there. All four of us. And
So
Yeah,
many
in the dark.
it makes you dizzy.
yeah, and sneaking up to the fire tower. that was fun.
Yeah. Those bushwhacking episodes were some of the best. Those are epic.
I'm can't wait to get back on that after snakes get up. Here in the next few weeks, we'll start doing that again. But I mean, we've had a ball. Lost some weight. I mean, when I first started this, I was pushing 200 pounds, and I'd say right now I'm down 170, 175. So
Fighting weight.
Lawson's on his way down, as we see over off camera.
How many calories will he burn tomorrow?
Not enough. It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, if I'd asked you in 85 or 86, when we were 50 years old, 52 years old, we're going to be running around in the woods, what would you say?
I would have said, first of all, we probably won't be alive. And
True.
after that, we'll have something other to do than run around through the woods.
But I know one time I asked you, I don't know if you remember or not, I said, why do we like this so much? You remember what you told me?
No.
You said, because it makes you feel like a kid
It
again.
does.
That's the closest you'll get to being a kid again.
I've told so many people that over the past couple of years that's exactly what it's like. It's like being a kid running through the woods.
Yeah.
When you have nothing else, you don't have to be home. You don't have to, it's summer break. You don't have to be at school. You don't have anything. You have nothing to do but to run through the woods.
Right. And that's
that's
a lot better than the road. If
yeah.
I can't do the road. I sometimes
When I
do
have
a few
to.
miles, yeah. But there's nothing like being in the woods.
Yeah. It's so easy to get lost in the woods.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's good. Trail running for me was trail running before I even knew that trail running was a thing. And I was living over in Webster behind your place.
Yeah.
And that was back in my motocross days.
You were trail running even then?
But I didn't know what trail running was. I thought I didn't want to run on the roads, so I would take off on the same trails that I was riding dirt bikes or mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what power hiking was, so I would walk as quickly as I could all the climbs and then run the flats and the downhills.
How old were you then?
This was late 90s, early 2000s.
This before you got into triathlon?
This was right before triathlon because I was in motocross. Actually, I was in cross-country mountain bike, and I couldn't get away from motocross, so I got back into motocross, not fully realizing that I'm too old for motocross, but I've done it anyway. And a little bit later, I got hurt badly enough that I realized that the motocross days need to be over. But with all that being said, during the motocross days, it's very, very demanding physically.
On the body?
Yeah, the people that have never done it have no idea how demanding that is. So the more demanding you can try, the more stress you can put on your cardiovascular muscular system, the more it pays off in motocross. So I would take off all those trails back there, and you know where they are.
in Webster.
Yeah. There were a lot of steep climbs and a lot of steep downhills, depending on which way you're going. And you get up on the mountaintop and there's a lot of runnable trail up there. So I would take off for training and not even know what I was doing, but I was hiking those climbs so hard.
Yeah.
And when I would get to the top, I wouldn't even give myself a break. You just take off running. And I didn't really know until years later that there's a lot of benefit to that.
Then later on after that, you started triathlon stuff.
Yeah.
Do you trail running? You like it better than when you was doing the triathlon stuff?
Triathlon really had it really had a really special place. It was fun, man. I met a lot of really cool people while I was doing that. I really had a lot of drive to do that because I was so intrigued with it. Even when we were in high school, back in the Scott and Allen duels of Ironman Hawaii.
Yeah.
Those were epic. They ended up on the Wheaties box, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that was unheard of back then. What was triathlon? And I thought those guys were from another planet that could even. How do you physically get through that day?
Right, those 3 events.
Yeah, but let alone at the speed that they were doing it in didn't even register then.
Did you tell me one time Victor got you into that?
Victor Poole, he was the one that coaxed me into doing my very first triathlon, and it was by no stretch an Ironman. It was a sprint distance race. In sprint distance, it's just very, very, very short in every discipline.
Yeah.
You're doing I think the first one we did was, it's not far from here. We were in Hiawassee, Georgia, the first one, a 400-meter swim, and I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 miles on the bike, and then run a 5K.
Wow.
And I thought it was otherworldly because I about died. It just about killed me.
What year was that? What would that have been in?
That would have been, my best guess is 2002.
Okay.
Yeah, so almost 20 years ago.
So after that, when did you start trail running like we're doing now?
It was
2018, or a little
yeah,
before?
probably so. I really got into triathlon from the early 2000s, which was, I guess, 2002, and at that point, Ironman was still out of the question. That was otherworldly, and but by 2004, which sounds like two, but it was my third year racing, I was registered for Ironman Florida.
That's the one your first one?
Yeah,
That's the only one you did?
That was the only one, yeah.
Only Ironman?
Yeah. It was really taxing on your family life, your home life.
Yeah. I can remember y'all training back then.
It was nonstop, and it is nonstop. You're on the road, either on your bike or you're running or you're somewhere to find a pool or you're in the lake. And if you're fortunate enough, you have time to sit down, eat supper, and get a good night's sleep. But
Start over.
yeah, and it never stopped.
You enjoy trail running more now?
Yeah, it's my. I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Unless I could go back to motocross, but
You're too old for that.
the ground is way too hard to race motocross.
All right, let's move from that now. Let's talk about. We've both done some other 50s, but let's talk about the Barkley Fall Classic. What's that about? How long has it been? A month now?
Yeah, let's call it a month and a half. Yeah.
But 2 different finishes. You finished you got the Croy, however you pronounce it. You finished the 50. I finished the marathon. But hardest thing I've ever done in my life, physically and mentally.
I think I had a big advantage on you.
Why's that?
Because you registered in plenty of time and way in advance,
Yeah.
and had a lot of time to think about it and wonder and this, that. And
You jumped in the last minute.
last minute, and with some
Days left.
Yeah, with days within the race. So I had no time to think about it. I had no time to worry about it. I had no time to wonder if I'd prepared, if I had this, if I had that. It was just pretty much
Go.
this weekend. It's show up and it's go time.
And you finished it. Good job.
Yeah, but you know, it was so much more than what I had anticipated.
Harder? You think it was harder than you thought it would be?
It was harder, yeah.
You think because of the rain, or I know you told me that you thought that might have helped us.
I think the rain was a blessing. I think the heat would have hurt me worse, and that goes back to my triathlon days. I've been hurt pretty bad in the heat, like medical tent hurt.
IVs and stuff.
Yeah, and ever since then, I don't tolerate the extreme heat, as well as they say once you succumb to either heat exhaustion or even heat stroke,
you're done.
You're gonna suffer from it from now on. But I didn't have heat stroke, but I definitely had heat exhaustion then, and ever since then, I believe the heat really plays a big factor.
Yeah.
So I think the rain and the cool temperatures for the Fall Classic was, I swear, man, I think it was a blessing. Even though I screwed up on my hydration and electrolytes early, 3 hours in, cramps I mean, yeah, I was beginning to wonder, but I just didn't stop, and I didn't stop, and I didn't stop, and I didn't stop, and I kept going, just like I've always told myself.
Yeah.
And they eventually went away.
That race is, like we talked about earlier tonight, I don't care how good a shape you are in, but
It doesn't matter.
if you don't have it mentally, if
You're done.
if you decide you're going to quit, you're in trouble.
Yeah. No, if the first negative thought enters your head, you're done.
I know the second time we got to Rat Jaw, I saw some grown men in a lot better shape than I am laying in the fetal position.
Yeah.
Whimpering. I mean, they'd made the decision to quit. They couldn't go on anymore.
That's a bad race.
It is.
That's a bad race. I really, really want to do it again,
I
but
do too.
I'm afraid
I'm on the wait list again, so
I'm not.
you need to get on there.
No.
But I told you earlier that, or a few days ago, that was the fastest 12 hours of my life.
Where did it go?
It flew by.
Where did the time go?
Being out there for, I don't even know how many miles we thought we were doing, but it was a long day, but it flew by.
The very first 50K that I did was Firewater.
Firewater over
Yeah.
Tellico.
Yeah, and the entire eastern shoreline of Tellico Lake. Oh, I've never been broken that bad.
You think that hurt
was-
worse than Fall Classic?
It sure did. I've never been as low. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. I still don't have a real big clue, but I had zero. I had no clue what was going on, and you know, there's an old saying in marathon road running, mile 20 is where you really hit the wall.
Yeah.
That's where the race gets real.
There's no way I'd ever try that on the road, that distance.
Well, in the Firewater, I'm pretty sure the aid station, and I remember the aid station. I remember it like it was yesterday, and it was 3 years ago, I think. The aid station was somewhere around mile 26. I have never.
Did you about quit?
No, I wasn't going to quit. But I've never hurt that bad in my entire life. My legs have never hurt as bad as what they did at that aid station. And it was all hydration and nutrition. I went out way too hard like I always do, and I didn't drink enough, and I didn't eat enough, and I didn't have enough electrolytes, and I made the same mistake at Barkley Fall Classic a month ago.
Yeah, that's what can be in tip-top shape, but you're talking about your stomach and your hydration.
There's so many things that can go wrong, and there's so much time for them to go wrong in.
Right.
It's a long day for everybody. I don't care if you're an elite or if you're a first timer.
Some bad choices can derail you.
Yeah, and it only takes it can be one choice. I'm not going to fill up on water this aid station.
Right.
That can be it.
That's why I look back on Barkley Fall Classic. I was 10 minutes late that last check-in. And I look back and I said, I probably lost those 10 minutes by aid station mistakes.
Yeah.
I should have filled up and kept walking and mixed my drinks instead of, I stopped and mixed there.
It's so easy, though.
I should have just filled up and kept rolling. 10 minutes.
It's so easy to stay
I don't think
there.
I could have went on and finished. I was done. When
Yeah.
I got back, I was ready to take the marathon and get out of there.
The most demoralizing thing about my first one was I hadn't been passed all day. Part of that was because I was way above my fitness level, and I was trying to stay with people that were way ahead of me as far as fitness
Right.
is concerned. But that was one reason that I hadn't been passed. But when I came into that aid station, and I still remember the food. It was the small potatoes, and they were
Boiled potatoes.
yes, and they were covered in salt. And I remember I was eating oranges. They had oranges quartered up. And I
Yeah,
was eating these
sliced up.
oranges. Yeah, and those salty potatoes, I could almost feel the starchy carbs
Yeah.
soaking into my bloodstream through my. I was so depleted.
That's what I look like tomorrow. I'll be looking for salt.
Oh, it was-
salt chips.
That
Lay's
was-
plain chips.
You couldn't be. It's indescribable. And when I left, at some point I had to leave the aid station, and I left walking.
Yeah.
And I was like a dog with my tail between my legs, and I thought,
Beat.
yeah, I was beat. And
5 more miles to go.
yeah, and I said, I'm going to have to walk this. But still, at that point, quitting it was nowhere in my mind. I was going to finish the thing.
And you did.
But I didn't want to walk it, but I had no choice. I had to walk. So I walked, I get to mile, probably another 15, 18 minute mile walking, just
Yeah.
trying to go. And there were people passing me. I mean, just one here and one there.
that starts getting to you.
And it was so demoralizing. And at this time, my legs are still hurting so bad. It's all I can do to walk. And then all of a sudden, almost like the clouds parting and there's the sun, the pain went away. And
From those potatoes.
yeah, it was nutrition. And I didn't know.
Yeah, that's why I say you can be the best shape of your life, but you take care of food and water.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of those, you have a bad day.
Yeah.
Maybe not like you say until the end of the race is when
Yeah.
it's going to show up. So take care of that early. But we'll wrap this up here in a second. But like you were just recently got like Luke Pelly starting out.
Yeah. He's
you're-
fired up, man.
Somebody listening to this, if they want to get into trail running, what would your advice be?
Start slow. Don't try to conquer the world in a day.
And start out somewhere Rockwood Forest Trails.
Exactly.
2 mile loop.
Yeah, it don't have to. It doesn't have to be some epic mountain adventure.
Right. You don't have to go to Smokies.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't even know the RFT's down there, but
yeah.
that's a pretty good treasure we have.
And we've put hundreds of miles in that place. I mean, it's a
Bunch of
go-to.
laps. Right.
Yeah,
So,
it's
start out there.
Yeah,
a lot of trails.
go run one lap,
Right.
and then run 2,
Get some good shoes.
and then run 3.
Right.
Figure out as far as shoes, figure out what's working for you.
I told somebody the other day I've bought more shoes the last 3 years than I did my whole time I was in school.
Shoes at one point in time didn't matter. Now they matter.
Now you better have some good shoes, good
Yeah.
padding. But we'll get off here. We got a big day tomorrow coming up here in about 6 or 7 hours.
It's
It's gonna be fun.
really, really looking forward to tomorrow. Who knows how we're. You may have an epic day. I may
You'll do
wake
fine. I'll
up
tell you-
very, very bad, and that's the beauty of it. You never know what each day holds. toe the line.
You got to go. I know you said you want to go sub 7, so,
I want anything under 7 hours, and I'm ecstatic.
so you can get in the upchuck.
But yeah, upchuck would be. I need another sub 7 finish because my last sub 7 is more than what's the requirement? 2 years?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I no longer qualify for upchuck.
We'll wrap this one up and we'll get back here in a few weeks and talk about how the rest of the crew did.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming on. And
No, it was
enjoying
fun.
this.
It's my first podcast ever. I'm still tripping on the weirdness of my own unradio voice in my ear.
It's my second. Jerry Cox was my first. So
No, it wasn't. You've done more than that.
Jerry Cox is the only one I've done.
I thought you'd done more than that.
No, that's it. I'm gonna mix it up with hunting and outdoor stuff,
Yeah.
trail running, hiking. There's all kinds of
Anyway,
interesting people to talk to in Roane County, Rockwood.
yeah, it was
I've got
fun, man.
a whole list of people. So
Yeah.
somebody else is out there. I'm coming after them. But I thank you for coming on down here in this nice hotel you booked us.
Yeah, hey, it's we're swanky, man.
We're gonna get off here and get these boys in bed. They got a big day coming up.
They have no idea.
All right, man.
All right, thank
Thanks.
you.